Hey there, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for August 2022. And just a quick reminder, if you are ever interested in getting a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can simply follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it, and of course engagement helps this channel out a lot. So what's going on when it comes to your August? Well, we'll start with the sun, bringing special focus and highlights, attention, enhancement, and support to your fourth house of home, family, the domicile, your roots, and home economic circumstances, Leo, through the 22nd of the month. With the sun in the fourth house, this is a time of great environmental transformations on the social front, the family front, and on the physical front for a lot of you, because the sun is all about bringing us into a space where we are not only ahead of our past, but we're also getting things current where things may have fallen behind. With the sun in the fourth house, you're going to be noticing a transformation to a lot of the way people are engaging with each other, as well as even getting a lot more value for the things that you have, the things that you work on, or the things that are maybe generating income in the house, whether it has to do with the house itself, your investments, or even contributions to the household when it comes to income from not only your own earnings, but from other people. The sun here is also bringing in a lot more fun, a lot more enjoyment, which we can actually create stronger bonds with relatives and with family members over. And this, of course, also includes chosen family. The sun tends to do this by clearing out blocks that may have been looming overhead. It is a clearing aspect, and so a lot of you may also find that there could be some, let's just say, shadow work going on in family situations, especially when it comes to purging the cause, core, record, effect, memory, and legacy of the choices that people made in the past as it relates how our family gets on now. And again, this includes chosen family. However, for those who go through this and allow it to work for them, we do end up having a stronger sense of community and tribe for it. After the 22nd of the month, we do have the sun entering Virgo for the duration of the month. This is your fifth house of love, romance, creativity, recreation, as well as your relationships with your children and parenthood. Sorry, she's getting very, very, annoying. So with the sun in Virgo for the month, or at least the end of the month and going on into September, the first 3 weeks of September, this is a time where a lot of transformations to your, I guess you could say your own world when it comes to the world you hold your closest relationships in. Environmental shifts are occurring in such a way where the way you relate to your partners or the way you relate to your kids or your collaborators is up for change in the best of ways possible. The sun tends to bring in new adventures, new opportunities, new getaways, as well as bonding activities that bring out sides of ourselves and sides of our partners either we've never seen before or haven't seen for a very, very long time. People let their hair down during this aspect. This is also going to be a time where with the sun you are attracting a lot of new romantic opportunities for those of you who are single and available, but it's going to require you to step outside of your bubble for it because the sun is putting everyone in a completely brand new fresh territory to explore together. This changes the way we relate to our partner. This changes the way we relate to our kids, but it also changes us in such a way that we are a completely different partner or parent to be or have for the part of the other as well. When it comes to Mars, the planet of action, passion, energy, and that obstacle clearing driving force, we have Mars in your sign through the 19th of the month. And with Mars in your sign, this is the time where we have the wild card blessing, so to speak, of this transit. We can apply that action energy and that driving force however we want. But with Mars in our first house, there is a big focus on elimination. Elimination of anything that we have been maybe forced to live with or tolerate in terms of liabilities, bedlam, chaos, blockages of all kinds, because Mars doesn't really have a tolerance for that. This is a time of solving and curing a lot of ails that have maybe been persistent throughout the course of the last couple of years. Mars hasn't been here in 2 years, so he's got a lot of work to do. This is also a time where a lot of you are getting a chance to break through a lot of blockades on any kind of road that you've been on. What is it that you want to maybe open a road with? Is it opening a road to a move? Is it opening a road to a new job? Opening a road to a new career? Opening a road to new love? Or maybe opening up a road when it comes to maybe something you'd like to publish or something you'd like to put out there and just completely change your whole life lane with. This is going to be the time where you really want to be paying attention to where Mars is showing you where to do the work. After the 19th, we've got Mars moving on into Gemini for the duration of the month and well into September. This is your second house of earned income, employment, your values, your valuables. And with Mars in the second house, as I often say, whenever Mars is in an income area, such as houses 2, 6, or 10, in this case for you 2, we are getting a chance to start raking it in really, really fast when it comes to our personal earning power. Now, with Mars here, what tends to occur is that you're going to need to be ready to burn the midnight oil. However, we are shattering a lot of glass ceilings when it comes to not only our earning power, our take-home, but what we can regularly predict as a monthly salary going forward by the time Mars is done with this transit. This is also a time for a lot of new, highly competitive opportunities to come your way, but you need to be ready to compete for them. We have Venus, the planet of love, favor, popularity, and affection, and in Cancer, in your third house of communications, pacts, promises, and commitments, through the 10th of the month. And so for the first week and a half of the month, we've got Venus really changing the way you relate to your community, to your network. Venus in the third house is a time where people often hook us up. We are the recipients of a lot of gifts and a lot of freebies with no strings attached. In fact, Venus in the third house can often bring in helpful third parties that know how to play matchmaker with and for us for whatever opportunities a matchmaker could be extremely useful for. Is it a recruiter? Are we matchmaking a big transaction or an investment? Are we matchmaking in love? This is a time to pay attention to where we need to open ourselves up to more assistance from the outside world. If you have been cloistered, if you've been isolating yourself, if you've been closing yourself off to any kind of input from the outside, really don't want to do that to waste this transit. You want to make sure that you're using your free will and your agency to allow that feedback as well as the positive interference that is coming your way. After the 10th of the month, we've got Venus entering Leo, that fourth house of home, family, domicile, and the roots. And Venus in the fourth house is going to be working hard on helping you plant new roots. A lot of you Taurus people are going to find that throughout the course of the back half of August, when it comes to increasing the level of love and recreation and pleasure and all of that good stuff that Venus can bring, there may be a lot of changes to the way your one-on-one relationships and family work, with the sun, of course, also there, but also at the same time, how we are handling the quality of life in our environment. Venus can work in your favor here by also bringing in a lot more comfort, a lot more luxury, as well as also bonding you to people that maybe you have not had strong connections with in recent history or maybe your entire life as it relates to those that are actually your family. Now, this could, of course, also be a time where we go through the work of creating those bonds with maybe siblings or cousins or uncles and aunties and things like that, that we weren't allowed to have because of maybe the way the family was set up, right? Maybe this is, weren't able to do it because grandpa did this, or grandma did this, or dad did this, or mom did that, or whatever. But there is an opportunity for a lot of shifting in the way we relate to each other, because now these relationships are given a chance to become more organic. This is also a time where a lot of you who are curious about love and romance may find that it could be very helpful, an aspect, because it's allowing you to plant new roots, get closer, get more established in romantic relationships. And those of you who are single and looking may find that love could show up close to home, whether it could be somebody coming close into the neighborhood or the new neighborhood if you're moving, or possibly even a love opportunity set up by a family member or something associated with a family or home event. And that's also going to carry on into September. We have Mercury, the planet of communications, speed, and productivity in Virgo from the 4th to the 24th of the month. So essentially the entire thing. Mercury in Virgo is a time, again, that fifth house of love, romance, and recreation and creativity and parenthood, is changing the way we connect and relate to people on an intellectual level, building up a stronger intellectual rapport with all people related to this part of your life, so that we can have the most stimulating as well as, the most secure and the most rewarding relationships possible. We have to be intellectual equals somewhere in each of these relationships. Maybe not all places of each relationship, but somewhere. And Mercury is providing that opportunity. Mercury is also speeding up the growth and the maturation of a lot of relationships, especially if it feels like relationships have kind of gone into a bit of a stagnant place, a little bit wash, rinse, and repeat. Mercury is really speeding up growth towards a lot of mutual goals. You're going to be finding, yes, collaborators and teammates for creative pursuits you're on are going to be plentiful during this time. And with Mercury here, you're going to be finding out new ways to open up new lines of communication with children that you have, new ways to relate to each other and become better friends. We always close up with lunations, so let's start off with our full moon, which is in Aquarius on August 11th. Now, a full moon is all about culminations, transitions, and endings. And so from August 11th through August 27th, this full moon in your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, station, the mark you make on the world, is essentially promoting you. It is moving you on from some kind of professional or financial road that you have been on up until this point into something far more substantial. A full moon in the 10th house can indicate a big break in career or in some kind of vocational pursuit, where you find that not only are you getting that promotion, but you are also getting a chance to try a new role or maybe try a new long-term road on for size. This is going to end a lot of what you have been used to, however, when it comes to your path to this point so far. Everything is going up a notch, not just how much you're getting compensated for, but the respect you're getting, the responsibilities that you're getting, as well as how people are, of course, engaging again more on that intellectual basis as well. And you're going to find that this full moon in Aquarius is putting you in the big leagues, so get ready for it. We have a new moon to close up on as well, of course. A new moon in Virgo, your 5th house of love, romance, partnerships, as well as those, creative collaborators and your relationships with your kids. And a new moon is all about seed planting, new beginnings, and initiations. A new moon in the 5th house is all about a new story, a new commitment that is getting underway from August 27th up until about the 10th of September. And this new moon is something where a lot of you Taurus people are getting a chance to maybe try a new type of relationship on for size. This is fantastic for people looking for new love. For those of you who are currently coupled or are married, this could indicate a new pursuit, a new goal. Some of you may be abandoning some kind of lifestyle that you've carried on or a goal that you've had as a couple in favor for something that is much more current and much more true and applicable to who you are versus maybe something you're holding on to that's attached to who you've been. This is also a great time for those of you looking to maybe expand on your family a little bit. Some of you may be successful in conceiving a child if you're looking to have a child. And this is also a great time to consider monetizing a creative project or a hobby that could be quite lucrative. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.